Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the pre-lecture series on electrical engineering. Here now we are going to discuss the lecture number 4.7. It is called Concentrated and Distributed Windings and the electrical machines. Let us consider the case of the concentrated winding. Let us having a 6 slot on the rotor, having a 2-pole machine. That means in a 1 pole we are getting a 3 slots. In 2 pole we are getting the 6 slots. And 2 pole means the number of poles in the stator and the rotor should be same. That is the 3 slots per pole. Let the X conductors per phase are placed in 1 slot per pole and the remaining 2 slots empty. Then the winding is called concentrated winding. What is the significance of this line? Here just I want to focus that the X conductor is to be placed in the 1 slot per pole, then the remaining 2 slots empty and the winding is called concentrated winding. So let us consider the case like this fashion. Here we are having the 6 slot and 2 pole machine like this fashion. Here in the rotor having 6 slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the stator is having a 2 pole machine. So also the rotor is also having a 2 pole machine. So if we are considering the influence of the X conductor, let us suppose the X conductor is placed in this. Let us suppose if we are having the 3 conductors, we have to placed in the 1 pole. So these all the 3 conductors, the conductor 1, the conductor 2, and the conductor 3. All these 3 conductors are placed in the only 1 slot. And it is outing like this fashion. Then this kind of winding is basically called the concentrated winding. We are concentrated only in the 1 slot, while the remaining 2 slots remains empty under 1 pole. This is the north pole, and in the north pole there are 3 slots, and in these 3 slots we are put all the 3 conductors in the 1 slot only, and the remaining 2 slots remains empty. Similarly on this side, under the influence of the south pole, where we are just put all the conductors in the 1 slot and the other slots remains empty, and this kind of the winding is called concentrated winding. Almost this is not widely used because it gives a non-uniform air gap. The sine wave is not improved, so we are just focusing on the distributed winding. This is our important objective: distributed winding. Now, in the distributed winding, if the X conductors per phase is distributed amongst the 3 slots per phase available under each pole, and all the slots are filled. Yeah, all the slots are filled, and the winding is called distributed winding. Here we are considering the same case. It is called 6 slot in the rotor and having a 2-pole machine. That the number of poles in the stator and rotor should be same, and if all the windings are filled, that means the wire comes ending this like this fashion. Similarly, it is entering this and coming back to like this fashion, and similarly like this fashion. All the windings are fixed and filled with the winding. That means this is called distributed winding. This gives a uniform air gap. This gives a basically a sinusoidal waveform, and the advantage is that while distributed windings makes a waveform of induced EMF sinusoidal in nature. So how we can obtain this, we have already discussed in the previous lectures. So just I want to focus on the distributed winding, that all the slots are filled, while in the concentrated winding, as the name indicates, all the slots, all the conductors are filled in the 1 slot only, while in distributed winding all the slots are filled by all the 6 of the conductors. So this is the difference between the concentrated winding and the distributed winding. Now let us take the example of the derivations, move towards the derivation part, where we have taken a 3-phase winding on the stator and having a 6 slot and a 2-pole signature. 2 pole means the number of poles in the stator should be 2. So here we have seen that the stator is having 6 slots and the rotor is having a 2 simple structure like this fashion. So we can consider some basic understanding, that is slots per pole. That is slots per pole. Slots per pole is basically equals to, here we are having the 6 slots, and per pole basically here having 2 poles, so we can say that 3. So the term indicates the slots per pole is basically G. Here we can say that the slots per pole, slots, here 6 slots is there, and under the influence of the 1 pole we are getting the 3 slots. Slot per pole is 3. Similarly, there is another term like Q, which is equals to slots per pole per phase. So Q should be equals to slots per pole multiplied by number of phase, where M is the number of phase. M equals to number of phase. So here the slot is 6, pole is 2, and number of phase basically 3. So we can say that 6 by 6 equals to 1. So Q equals to basically 1. This is the terms we are using, the G and Q. The Q basically the slots per pole per phase. In this case, where we have seen that the slots per pole, the slots are 6. The pole having 2 pole machine in the stator and rotor, and the per phase slot basically 1. That means the slot per phase, the slots per pole or per phase means this is A. This is only Q. It is slots per pole. Per pole means there are 3 slots. In the per phase means there is only 1 slot. So Q equals to 1 means that the slots, total slot is 6. Total slot is 6. And out of 6, the slots per pole is 3, and the slots per pole per phase is basically Q. So there is only 1 Q is there. If Q is 1, that means that it's having a, this is called concentrated binding. Concentrated binding. And if Q is greater than 1, then it is called distributed binding. This is very important point. It's 2.7 important. If Q equals to 1 and Q is greater than 1. If Q equals to 1, that means slots per pole or per phase. Slots, the 6 slots per pole is 3 and per phase is 1. So there is only 1 winding is there, and concentrated we have to put the winding in the 1 slot only. But if the Q is greater than 1, let suppose Q equals to 2. That means Q equals to 2 means slots per pole per phase is 2. That means total number of slots per pole is per phase is 2. That means this A phase is having 2 slots. Excuse me. This is A phase. This is phase A. This is basically A by 2. This is basically A by 2. So this is Q equals to basically 2. So if we having a 2 slots is available, so if we are using 2 slots, then it should be a distributed winding. So I think you will understand, if the Q is greater than 2, that means, if the Q is greater than 1, that means it is 2, 3, 4 or more. That is called the slots per pole. Slots per pole, this is per pole is 3, and the per pole per phase is 1. So Q is 1. If the Q is greater than 1, that means slots per pole per phase is 2. That means in each phase there are 2 slots. That is called Q equals to 2. This is the basic concept of the Q is greater than 1 or Q is equals to 1. So we understand the term Q and we understand the term G, where G equals slots per phase. So this to be remain in your mind after some time. Q and G we have considered. The Q basically slots per pole per phase, where phase is M and the number of phases. Let us consider the another case. This is the important case that we call the basic concept. It is the number of slots in a stator is having 80. The machine is having a 2-pole machine. If M equals to 3, then number of phase equals to 3. Then we have to derive some relation, some concept of it. So just recall it. So we can say that the G equals to, we have seen that the slot per pole. G equals to slot per pole equals to, there are 18 slot and here 2 pole machines, so it is 9. So basically this, from this part to this part, from this section to this section, this is called G, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 slots. So let us discuss first this, then we can move towards the derivation. Here we are having 18 slots. 18 slots means the A having a 6 slot, the B having a 6 slot, and the C having a 6 slot. This A, this B, and this C making an angle of 120 degree. A is having like this fashion, like B is having this fashion. Similarly, C is having like this fashion. A1 is A2. This is this is A1. This is A1 dash. This is B1. This is B1 dash. I think I should correct it. This is not. This is A1 dash. This is basically A2 dash. This is A3 dash. It is right. Similarly, B1 dash, B2 is B2 dash, B3 is B3 dash, C1 is C2 dash, C2 dash, C2. So we are making 18 slots in the stator winding, and there are 2 pole machine. So the rotor is having a 2 pole structure, and the stator is having also a 2 pole machine, but having slot is 18. So we have considered like this fashion. So we can say that the slots per pole is 18 by 2. That means 18 by 2, 9. There are 9 slots per pole. At the north pole, there are 9 slots. Similarly, at the south pole, there are 9 slots. This is the first alternative. The second objective is basically we have considered the Q. Q basically equals to slots per pole, or basically the per phase. So in this case, the Q is equals to this 18 are the slots divided by number of poles is basically 2, and number of phase is basically 3. So it should be 18 by 6 should be 3. So Q equals to basically 3. Okay, Q equals to 3. That means slots per pole. Let us take this slots per pole, then take this. Slots per pole. Slots per pole is basically 9. Slots per pole is 9. And per phase, this 9 by phase equals to 3. This is called basically, we can say that the Q. This is called the Q. It's having the slots per pole is 9, and the per phase, the A phase is having a 3 conductor. This is called Q, and this is called basically, we can say that this is called G, slots per pole. Let us consider part like this fashion. If we are just making an angle like this, this is called basically the slot pitch. This is called the gamma, is basically called a slot pitch. The angular span between the consecutive slots is basically called as a slot pitch. This is also basically a slot pitch. Similarly, this is also basically a slot pitch. This is also basically a slot pitch, and basically so on. So the angular span covered by the each slot is called the slot pitch. Gamma, 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 gamma. There are 9 gammas are there. If we want to making an angle like this fashion, so we can write, just making conclusion, angle covered by each pole is pi electrical, and the angle covered by G slots. It's equals to again, that is G into gamma is basically equals to 3 pi. This is our relation. This is called relation. How we can achieve this? We can discuss later, and we consider the gamma equals to pi by G, and it is to be equals to pi by slots per pole. It should be pi P by S. It should be pi multiplied by 2 divided by 18. It should be basically 20. The gamma is basically the distance between the angular distance between the two consecutive poles. So this is basically called the distance gamma, which is equals to 20 degree in this case. So here I just understand this angular covered, the angle covered by each pole is pi. Each pole north will covering the angle of pi. This is the pi, and the G is also basically the called as the 9 slots per pole. Total slots per pole is 9. If I multiply by G by this gamma, then we can say that we can calculate this angle called pi. This is also equals to pi, because gamma is the angular span between the two consecutive slots, and G is the total number of slots in the slots per pole. If you multiply by this G, or 9 into 20, 9 into 20, because G is 9 and gamma is 20, then we can, it should be 180 degree. So we have calculated this. If G is 9, if it is multiplied by the gamma is 20, it should be equals to pi, it should be equals to 180 degree. So we have understand this relation, that G into gamma is equals to pi, slots per pole multiplied by this slot angle or the pole angle, pole pitch for this slot pitch is equals to the pi. Similarly, the fourth conclusion part that we have to understand, like we have already shown that the Q should be equals to slot per pole per phase. It should be 18 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. It should be 3. So let us take the concept called phase spread. This is the concept called phase spread. It should be the angular span covered by each phase. Angular span covered by each phase under each. What is the meaning of this? The phase spread xi is angular span covered by each phase under each pole. Here the phase A, each phase, here in the north pole there are 3 phases. The phase A, the phase C dash, and the phase B, A, B, C. But the angular span covered by the each phase, the angular span covered by the each phase under each pole. So this is basically called, just remove it. This is basically called the It is the angular span covered by the each pole at each phase. At each phase means this is the each phase A under each pole, and it is the angular span. This is distance. And the G should be G, and the Q is slots per pole per phase. This is also Q. This is also basically Q, because slots per pole per phase is Q. If we are multiplying this, if we are multiplying like this, gamma multiplied by G, it should be equals to xi. This is the next relation. Gamma multiplied by this. That means this is the phase A, like this fashion. this is conductors A, this is A1, A2, A3. This is our center distance, and this is basically the xi, this is basically the z, and if we are divided this fashion, we can say that this is basically the gamma. If the gamma is multiplied by d, then we can call it as a xi. This is our next relation that we are going to discuss, that xi is basically equals to gamma into q. This is q. This is q. This is q. This is q. Q multiplied by this. Xi should be equals to, this is loss per pole multiplied by the number of phases, and gamma is equals to, it is pi by slots per pole. Slots and slots cancel, P cancel, so we can say that is xi equals to pi by, here m equals to 3, so xi equals to 180 by 3, so xi equals to 60 degree. So here this angle is called basically 60 degree. It's called 60 degree. It's called 60. So similarly at this phase it is 60. Similarly 60. So here in this lecture we have considered the 4 important parts. The first is basically we have understand the G, that is called the slot per pole. It should be 18 divided by 2, should be 9. You understand the Q equals to slot per pole per phase. It should be 18 divided by number of poles 2, and the 3 it should be 3. Then we understand the concept of gamma, which is the coil span, which is basically 20 degree. Then we understand the concept of psi, which is basically Q multiplied by gamma, it should be 62. So G, Q, lambda or psi. G, Q, gamma, G, Q, gamma or psi. These are the 4 relations that we understand in this lecture. And in the coming lecture, we will discuss about the derivations of the concentrated winding and the distributed winding in a machines that we already understand. So I think you will enjoy the lecture. If you have any doubt, you can mail to me, and I think this is enough for the today's session. And next class we will discuss about the derivations of